Hey guys, it's me, Carrie, and I'm back with another video. I just wanted to give you a really brief recap of the con we attended today, which was Eternal Con. It's a really, really small con. They typically only have like 7 or 8 guests. Actually, usually they have a few more than that. The first time I went, they had a few more than that. This is my 3rd time going. The first time I went, I was there as a volunteer for Pets for Love, the animal rescue I was volunteering for 4 years until we were cruelly evicted from our mall location by a heartless company. So I was there as a volunteer at the Pets for Love booth, but I had a chance to walk around and meet some people. I had the lovely pleasure of meeting Peter Scolari, who was just truly a gentleman and such a classy guy. He actually took photos with my friend Kathleen and I and signed autographs for each of us for free. We had a little brief discussion about bipolar disorder because he suffers, as does my husband, and anxiety, and he suffered, God rest his soul. But he was such a lovely man, and I had the chance to really quickly say hi to Emilio Delgado, now the late, great Emilio Delgado, who played Luis for so many years on Sesame Street, as well as Carol Spinney, the late Carol Spinney. God, that's crazy, because this was only like 3 or 4 years ago, wow, that we lost those 3 incredible men in such a short period of time, especially Peter, shocking, because he was fairly young, but heartbreaking. But I had the great pleasure of meeting those 3 gentlemen, as well as 2 other, the actor who plays Gordon, and this was after my time of Sesame Street. I don't remember if I think the actor's name is Alan. I don't know who he played, or maybe he plays someone named Alan. I'm not sure which. Please correct me if you're a mom or a grandmom or just a, you know, current viewer of Sesame Street. I don't judge, because Sesame Street is fabulous. But I'm old school girl, you know. I'd rather watch the repeat somewhere than the new stuff. Far more Grover-centric back then. It's too Elmo-centric now. I have no problem with Elmo, but Grover is my boy, especially Super Grover. So anyway, and I loved the old original voices. Like, I don't want to hear Big Bird done by anyone other than Carol Spinney. I just don't. But that was the first time I attended. And they were probably, I also got to meet Method Seth Jimmy Hart from WWE, WWF back in the day when I was watching as a kid, Wrestling World, who was lovely. He was such a heel when he was, you know, in the wrestling world, and, you know, always came across as like a bad guy, but couldn't have been a nicer person. So incredibly sweet. Oh, and Bob McGrath from Sesame Street I got to meet. He showed up late, but I got to at least say hi, so it was really cool. And then we went last year. That was a few years, I think like 4 years ago. Maybe even 5, because they took off, I think, for a year or two, 2020 and 2021. No, I think it was back last year. Maybe, I don't know. They took off at least a year for COVID, I'm sure. But then we went, yeah, I think we went last year and then this year. Last year was cool. We got to meet Reb Brown, who to me is like the dude from Space Mutiny, which if you haven't seen it, both Riff Tracks and MST3K have done riffs on it, so it's that much of like perfect riffing fodder. It's such a great cheesy fun movie, and his wife is actually, that he's still married to, over, I think he said it's over 40 years of marriage, and her name escapes me right now, and it's making me feel really crappy. But he was there, and we got to talk to him. He's best known to most people as the original Captain America from the series that ran, I believe, in the 90s, maybe the 80s. It didn't run for very long, but that's what my husband knew him from. I'm recording a video, Mom. That's my mom, special guest star. She can't see the camera. Anyway, that's pretty funny. But anyway, you know, she just thought I was back here having a full-on conversation with myself, evidently. But we got to meet Reb Brown, and Reb Brown was really, really nice. And, oh, God. Oh, Sissy. Her first name is Sissy. It will come to me. But I always bring bracelets, some of my beaded bracelets, and I like to give them to the ladies that I meet, both the celebrities, and then, like, if I connect with any volunteers or vendors or just, you know, sweet kids. I love to give away my bracelets. That's why Persevering Pretties is, like, I never sell anything on there. It's still open. Go to facebook.com/perseveringpretties to check out the bracelets I sell occasionally, but mostly end up giving away when I meet people, because that's just how I roll. But I ended up saying, you know, do you think you're white? Sissy Cameron. Oh, thank God it came to me. Because Cameron Mitchell actually played her father in the movie. And Cameron Mitchell has been in a lot of MST things, too. I mean, he was nominated for, I believe, either a Tony or an Oscar for Death of a Salesman. So, I mean, this was an actor with some chops. But he did a lot of crappy movies, too, thankfully for me, that I've gotten to enjoy on MST and Riff Tracks over the years. But we got to meet him, and he did a panel with the gentleman who played Shazam on the show of the same name, Captain Marvel. Actually, he played Captain Marvel, and I think when it switched and he did the Shazam thing, it was a different actor, but I'm not positive about that. My husband would know better than I did. But we got to meet the two of them last year and see a panel, and we got to meet a wrestling chick, and I can't remember her name. It totally escapes me right now. And that was fun, but it wasn't really, you know, it's not a big con. I mean, it's a fun con in terms of just if you want to spend a day. We were there for an hour and a half, so that should tell you something. But spend a little time, you know, at a con. It's very, very local to us. It's actually at Hofstra University, where I went to college, so that's really the primary reason we went. It was something fun to do, and this year they had Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner, which was so badass. We were at another con one year that they had Lee, but we never got a chance to talk to him. As it so happens, we didn't get to talk to him today either, which was a bummer. But I just wanted to say hi to Lindsay Wagner and, you know, give her a bracelet. And, you know, I wasn't expecting to be able to get a photo because I figured, honestly, I mean, she's such an icon. I truly going into, I expected that her prices were going to be $50 for a table photo, $50 for an autograph, and then like maybe $80 for a combo. As it so happened, her selfie price was $25, which, I mean, granted, you're taking a picture with your own phone, but if you know anything about the convention scene, actors charge what they can get away with, and they can get away with charging a lot. There are people who are willing to pay Robert Englund, bless his heart, lovely man. I was fortunate enough to meet him in a bar and get a selfie for free, but I believe Robert may be charging upwards of $100 per at cons these days, per autograph and per table photo, and maybe like $180, $150, I don't know, for a combo. Who knows? I haven't seen him in several years, so I'm not sure. But Lindsay fucking Wagner, $25 for a selfie? Are you kidding me? I was like, I didn't think twice. I mean, plus she's 1 degree away from Linda Carter, who is one of like my biggest role models in life. I would love to meet her at a con, and there's no doubt in my mind that Linda would probably be charging the earlier prices I mentioned and getting paid it hand over fist. And you know what? More power to her if that's what she feels cool charging. And I don't know, you know, I don't know anything about if she even does cons. I don't know what I'd be willing to pay if I had the opportunity to meet her, because she is such a hero of mine, and I will be forever kicking myself that I didn't get a chance to meet another one of my great sheroes, Carrie Fisher, before she passed away at a con. It kills me. It kills me. It breaks my heart. I loved her so much. And the last reason, honestly, was Princess Leia. I loved Carrie for Carrie. I loved her for her brilliant wit, her incredible writing, her openness and her insight, and her willingness to be candid about her bipolar and her, you know, recovery from drugs. And I just... oh, I loved her. I loved her. I quote her constantly, even still. I say, you know, even though we have, you know, she spelled our name wrong, I like to joke. Debbie spelled our name wrong. To get to share a name, you know, Carrie, with that woman is such a great honor. I know I wasn't named after her in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately. I was named after some random girl my mother knew in high school, like, not even well, but she just dug the name. So anyway, and I only found this out like 10 years ago. All my life I asked my mother, how did you come up with Carrie, K-A-R-I? And she said, I don't know, I just thought of it. She's so full of shit. But anyway, so we went back today and I got to meet Lindsay, which was wonderful. We had a lovely conversation. She actually was like really like you'll see if I can post the pictures on my Facebook page. Like when she was looking at my bracelets and I poured them out, she had like the biggest smile on her face and she was deciding. And you know, she's an older woman now, and mad respect. She's gorgeous and amazing and brilliant and kind and all the wonderful things. But just, you know, my bracelets may not necessarily always be suitable for older women, and it's never occurred to me before, but she said, you know, would it be okay if I pick one for my granddaughter instead? And I said, of course it would. It would be my pleasure. So like then she just got this even more animated, excited look. And she's like, she's really into like bright colors and unicorns. I'm like, rainbows, fairies, totally get her. And the bracelet that Lindsay picked up was exactly the one I would have recommended for her. So she's like, you think she'll like this one? I'm like, that is exactly the one I was going to pick. It was like Lisa Frank colors. Perfect. Like bright orange, purple, bright pink, bright blue. Yeah. So she was just the sweetest, and Brian took a bunch of pictures of us, which was awesome because we were chatting for a little while, and she was just so lovely. It's always so scary to meet your heroes because they disappoint you a lot, but she definitely didn't. She was so kind. It was, at first it felt like a little bit of like a normal, just standard, hi, how are you interaction. And then I mentioned one thing in particular to her, and it kind of flipped the conversation a little bit because she found out we had a mutual friend. Well, it was someone she worked with once, is a friend of mine, and I mentioned him, and she was just like, oh my God, he's just so wonderful. And I'm like, I know, he's just the sweetest, sweetest man. And I felt like at that point it took like a little bit of a turn, like, oh, okay, this isn't just a fangirl, even though I started out with, oh my God, you were like a shiro, because, you know, growing up as a kid and, you know, in the 70s and 80s, like, you were it. I mean, the Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman, please, like, what great role models, you know, for young girls to have. And she was very touched by that. But of course, she probably hears that a million times a day. So then when I mentioned our friend, she was just like, oh, okay, you know him, that's really cool. And I didn't do it in a name droppy way. I just knew, you know, it just occurred to me, oh, wait a minute, you know, he worked with her. So, when I brought that up, then it took a turn, and then we just got to more chitty chatting, and our dear friend Manny, who works for the security detail that does a lot of these conventions, apparently was kind of looking at my husband like, she's getting a line, she needs to stop talking. But at the same time, he's not going to tell me or Lindsay to stop talking. You know, if Lindsay's happy having a conversation with me, she's going to have the damn conversation. You don't tell Lindsay Wagner when to shut up. So we had a lovely talk, and I will not disclose the details of that, but she was incredible and so kind, and that was well worth my $25. I did buy some cool shit. You know what? I'm gonna do that in this video. Hold on, let me go get my purse. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the stuff I got at the con. So there were these graphic novels actually on the table when we walked in, and they were free, which is really rad. I've only read one graphic novel, I think, which was Ghost World, but it's Ayn Rand. I mean, Ayn Rand's Anthem, the graphic novel, and then Ayn Rand's Red Pawn, the graphic novel. So I was like, you know what? Shit, Ayn Rand's? I'm gonna check those out. And they were free, so why not? This is the postcard from the event, and just saying, it's kind of a bummer. We have met Ross Marquand twice before at other cons in The Walking Dead. He's amazing. He was there today, but I never saw him at his table. We really would have liked to have gone up to say hello, but like I said, we were there for like an hour and a half, and we didn't get in until like a half hour after it started. So I don't know if he was just running late or doing pro-ops or what the hell was going on, but we didn't get to see Ross. Emily Swallow from Mandalorian, Brian really wanted to meet, but he got so shy, and I said, I'll go up with you, but sometimes he just gets shy, and it is what it is. You know, and it's part of it is his bipolar, so I was not going to force him. I said, are you sure you're not going to regret it? He's like, I probably will, but I just don't feel it in me right now. So I was like, okay, totally cool. And then Paula, I believe you pronounce it Paula Lazaro from The Walking Dead, bailed like 2 days ago, which was such a bummer. Supposedly she got a job, so I mean, if that's the case, then good for her. But yeah, they obviously printed these cards way in advance before they even booked Lindsay Wagner and Lee Majors, because I'm sure they would have been on the front of here. And then they had, oh gosh, guy who played Flash Gordon, Sam Jones, who we didn't get to see at his table either, and I would have liked to have just said hello. But anyway, so that was the con, and of course we got to see our amazing friend Barbie Chula, who we love, who is an incredible cosplayer, and we became friends with at the New Jersey Horror Con back in April. We love Barbie. She's such an incredible person. Just the sweetest heart, and so devoted to her precious, precious little doggy Gucci. I actually made her a Gucci bracelet, and she was like, I'm gonna cry. I've never felt like I was gonna cry at a cosplay convention before. I'm like, well, let me be the first to make you cry. She's like, it's a good thing I wore my big sunglasses, but she's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, beautiful spirit inside and out. We love Barbie. So that was really fun. Meeting Lindsay was really fun. We got to see our friend Manny, again, who I mentioned in security detail. And we got to see another one of our friends, Chris, who is one of the top booking agents for celebs at conventions. And we only got to see him real quick because he was like shopping at a vendor booth. And I'm thinking this is probably the first chance he's had to breathe all day where he's not like, you know, watching out and doing business things. So I said, you know what? We gave him hugs. We said, hey, we hoped we'd see him again before we left, but we didn't, unfortunately. But we love him. He's such a great guy. So anywho, and shit, I still managed to leave something I bought upstairs. Okay, I suck. Hold on one more minute. Okay, I do have everything. All right, so the first thing I bought, actually Brian treated me. I got some more gibbets for my Crocs. I only own 2 pairs of Crocs at this point and probably like 30 gibbets, so I really need to get more Crocs. I have a few pairs on my Amazon wish list that I really want that are gorgeous, gorgeous blues, and I'm just, you know, not ready to pull the trigger on $50. I think I only paid $39.99 for the ones I'm wearing now. My, just my basic black ones. And these gibbets, by the way, were made by Em Sprout, my amazing friend Lindsay. I've posted her info on here many, many times, but just look for EMAND SPRUT on Instagram and you can follow her. But anyway, yeah, so I need more Crocs. I really do. I need more Crocs. I have more display space for my gibbets. But they had Crocs, they had gibbets, not gibbets, you know, not made by Crocs, the generic ones, but they were $3 each or 4 for 10. And I ended up picking these. I found these beautiful Pride ones. They had Minnie and Mickey, and I love them. They're so stinking cute. And then Brian actually found this one that says Love is Love, and I love that one too, of course. And then the last one was not necessarily Pride related. It's more about me coming out of my shell and self-discovery and, you know, figuring my shit out. And plus, a nickname of mine has been Butterfly for over 20 years, and I love butterflies, so they had this beautiful blue butterfly, so I got that one. And I don't have a card or anything from the person I got that from, unfortunately. P.S. I went around the bend and there was someone else selling them 5 for $10. I didn't even want to look to see if they had any of these because I would have been so sad that I didn't get the best deal. So I was proud of myself. Instead of looking and being a masochist, I said, fuck it, Carrie. You like what you got, just be happy with that. So anyway. Then the next thing I bought, and again, I don't have a business card or anything, but there was this one kind of booth that had all sorts of different mishmash of stuff. And this lady had this one little lone pin on a tray with some other stuff. And it said, yes, this is a positive sign. And it's a sign. It's a positive sign. It's an actual sign. And I love that. And it was $2. So, I mean, come on, seriously, I had to have that. So I got that. I paid $1 and my husband paid $1 because I didn't have change. Then the third place I went was to a booth called, okay, is this Dibadoo? Dib Dab Do. Okay. And I talked with the woman who does these illustrations and who I'm guessing was her boyfriend or husband, but I shouldn't make assumptions, maybe just a friend. But anyway, I just want to get these business cards out so you can fully see the prints. But these are her original drawings. Because I was making the comment initially to Brian that she had beautiful stickers. And I said, now these stickers were like $3 each or 2 for $5. A lot of places are charging that for like regular old stickers that I now know, because I've bought them at cons in the past, that you can get from Amazon or from Wish for like $5 for like 100. So like, you know, why would you buy those? But hers were original, you know, her original artwork. So I said, see, this I would be willing to pay for. So we had a lovely, nice, long conversation. And Brian ended up handing me what I thought was a 20 to treat myself to something. And it turned out it was a 10, but no big deal. So I ended up choosing these 2 prints because I just loved her art. This one is a really cute kawaii volcano and says, I'm on fire. And I believe these are 4x6, but they may be 5x7. 5x7, because this is probably 4x6, but I'm guessing. This could also be 3.5x5, so who knows? And then I got this one because it reminded me of Karopi from Sanrio, but not like in a rip-off way, and I just thought it was so precious, this little froggy ice cream cone. And these were 2 for $12, so I thought that was reasonable. And again, her website Her site is called Dib Dab. Oh, okay. Let me, you know what? I'm going to hold this up so you can check this out. Hopefully you can read this. You can pause to read this, and I will type all this info into the Dropbox because I cannot see what I'm holding up right now. But I believe it's her website, her TikTok. Is the Music Note TikTok? I'm too old for TikTok. And Insta. But you can follow her on those places. And look at how cute the card even is. So yeah, so I love those prints. I think they're adorable. And we actually mentioned to her that she should consider vending at New Jersey HorrorCon because we're going to be heading back there in the fall. Fall. Yeah. Okay, PA HorrorCon is in August. Run by the same promoter, our friend Ryan and his wife Kristen. But anywho, you know, I think that they would really have a niche there because there's like nobody that really sells much kawaii stuff. And I find that at cons that I've been to, I've met some amazing friends that that vend kawaii tinged stuff, and they do really, really well at horror conventions. And unfortunately, they haven't been doing the ones we've been attending lately. We miss them terribly, and we want to buy all their stuff. But these guys, you know, she would have a really good niche market, I think, at that con. So we're hoping that, you know, she'll connect with Ryan and maybe book for September, or at least go as an attendee. So Ryan, seriously, kickbacks. Because we're getting people to come for sure. Then there was another booth I went to, and this one is called Sunny Sponder. SUNNYSPONDER. And that is the Insta handle. And he had a lot of rad pins, but the one I picked was this one of a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He actually had all these different cereal ones, and it was $12, which is a little more than I normally spend on one pin, I'm not gonna lie. But he was so nice, and I love supporting indie artists, and it's so fucking cute. And it is my favorite cereal. It's his too, as it turns out. He also had, I think, Fruit Loops and French Toast Crunch, and what he did was he put the pins on display in front of the mini boxes of cereal, so you could totally see where it came from. And his table smelled like cereal. Oh my God, I like never wanted to leave. But he's really rad too, and he's now considering, at the very least, coming as an attendee and possibly booking a table as a vendor at New Jersey HorrorCon. So I would be delighted to see them both there, because I think, again, you know, not just in terms of my own selfishness wanting to buy more of their stuff and wanting to see them do well because they're really nice people, but I honestly do. I think they make good money at you know, at a horror event. They both expressed interest in horror, which is not at all surprising to me. Most people that I know that are into horror are, well, not most, but quite a few are also into kawaii stuff. So I just think they'll be a perfect match for this con, and I hope that we end up seeing them both there. That would be really, really rad. I'm following them both on social now, so, you know, I can keep in touch and see what happens. But I did mention that I would mention their products in the video, and I love them. I really do. Super, super happy with them. And yeah, I think that was all that I bought. And then afterwards we went to the local thrift store, and I found myself a copy of Hello, I Must Be Going on CD by Phil Collins, which I have now bought in 3 formats. LP, cassette, and now CD, but it's a great album, and it was 50% off on Green Tags Day, so $1.50. How could I not? But yeah, so that is it on EternalCon. So overall, is it a destination con? Absolutely not, in my opinion. I wouldn't travel for it. If maybe in the future, if it gets bigger, then I would consider it. But honestly, it's, you know, it's something that's we do for an hour and a half, 2 hours at best, because it's local and it's just something fun to do. And then I turn around and spend like $50 in merch. But like I said, 25% of it was a photo with Lindsay fucking Wagner. So how can you go wrong? Actually, several photos, because my husband took a bunch. But anyway, so that is my day. I'm going to lay on my hammock now, which is what I intended to do before I decided to shoot a second video. But oh, can you hear the screaming in the background? Like, is somebody torturing a dog or a human, or like kids just beating the crap out of each other? I don't know what the hell's going on. It's very entertaining though. Somewhere over the big tall fence, I can't see it. It's not a dog, because if it was someone torturing a dog, believe me, my ass would be the first one to call the ASPCA or the cops. No, they're having a party somewhere, because it's July 3rd and whatever. Some people still feel this country is worth having a celebration for today. That's a whole nother video. All right. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I love you so, so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like if you choose. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I never ask people to do those things, but you know what? It really does help. My channel hasn't grown in a really long time, and it bums me out because I genuinely don't know why. I get a fair amount of views on my videos, but I just don't know how to build an audience. I never have. I don't shoot things to be clickbait. I don't post titles to be clickbait. That's not how I roll. I'm a 100% genuine human. I mean, there's pretty much nothing that you could ask me that I wouldn't answer. Which, by the way, reminds me, I very much want to shoot another Q&A video. So as soon as I get 10 questions, I would be happy to do that, if you guys even care about asking me shit. But I love doing those videos. I think they're really, really fun. I love watching when other people do them. Again, my life is pretty much an open book, so there's very little that I wouldn't answer for you that I haven't probably shared on here already. But I love the give and take and the interplay of commenting back and forth with my friends, with you guys, the ones that care what I have to say. It's so much fun for me. It almost feels like we're having a dialogue, even though I'm the only one speaking on video. You respond and I respond back, and I love that. I live for that. Like, that was not why I originally did this channel, but I get so gratified from that. So please, please, please submit questions if you have any. Feel free to submit more than one. I mean, I'm not going to do 10 questions from one person, but I may do 2 or 3 of your questions and then save, the other ones, if you have more than one, for, a future video, because I think they're just such fun. Like I said, I don't know, I'm a little bit of a nosy hole, and I like knowing stuff about people. I like to connect on, a gut level, on a heart-to-heart level with people. I'm not about surface shit at all. That's so not how I roll in life. So yeah, please, can I say like 16,000 more times? It's probably really funny if people are watching this with closed captioning, how many ums come up in my freaking videos. But okay, thank you so much for watching. For the 100th time, I'm gonna end. I love you all so, so much, and I'll be back soon with more stuff. Bye.